Hi everybody, it's me, Miss Tina Z, your favorite gender non-conforming ukulelist and vocalist. How are you today? Lifting you up. 1, 2, 3, yay! Today's a very special day. I am debuting a song called The Epic Transformational Tale of Dapper Dan and Tina Z, which is a title I realize that's super way too long. And so instead, I'm going to call the song DD in TZ. The DD in this song is this guy right here, Dapper Dan. As my mom can attest, I carried Dapper Dan everywhere.
Well, he was very special to you, and you carried him around all the time. And the purpose of him, besides being your little buddy, he was going to teach you how to tie shoes and zippers, zip up zippers and button buttons.
But I lost Dan. He was my best buddy in the whole world, and I lost him, and I don't know where he went. And I just remember him not being in my life at one point and being sad about that. And I always kind of wondered, well, what the heck ever happened to my little buddy Dapper Dan? So let's fast forward to 2021-ish. So I booked a trip for my sweet baby cakes and me to go to Provence, France, the southern part of France. It was a big milestone birthday for my sweet baby cakes, and so we did a special trip for it. And that's where we ended up. And I was working with the tour company. It was a hiking and culinary sort of adventure. I was working with the tour company, and I said, oh, we're going to stay in Paris an extra 2 nights. Do you recommend hotels? And they said, no, we cannot. If we can't do that, we don't do that. However, we work with a travel company that does that sort of thing. Yay! And so I contacted the travel company and I said, we're going to be in Paris 2 nights. Could you arrange that for us? And because I don't know anything about Paris, never been there. And I knew what train station that we would be finishing our tour at the place where, you know what I'm saying. And so I wanted something a little close to there because we'd be walking, of course. And so the secondary tour company set us up with this hotel, and it was ungodly expensive, like $500 a night. And I said, oh, no, thank you. I will find my own lodging in Paris, friends. And so I did. I found this hotel. It's called Citizen M. And I found... it's a block away from this train station that Sweet Baby Cakes and I would be exiting from. And so, in a reasonable rate. And so I booked it for the 2 nights. And we showed up after our big trip to southern France. Showed up in Paris. Went to this hotel. Dragged our suitcases there. And this hotel, Citizen M, if you know nothing about it, it is super modern and kitschy and fun. That's kind of the brand they're going for. And so we booked, we were happy, we went up to the room, and I opened the door to our hotel room that I booked, and my long lost buddy, now an adult, and now a little bit different, was on the bed waiting for me, as though she had been waiting for years. This is Danielle. Danielle, at one time was known as Dan. And so Danielle went to Europe, transitioned to her true authentic self, waited for me to arrive, found out what hotel I was going to be in, and we reunited. Yay! DD and TZ together again. So I went, after reuniting, I went down to the hotel lobby and I said, hey, this fun pillow, I would like to take that home with me. Do you sell them? And they said, indeed we do. Not the one in your room particularly. We sell new ones, right? And so I decided I would not buy it then in Paris, because if you've ever done a trip like that where you don't have access to cleaning any clothes, you're packed very tightly. And so Danielle would not fit in my luggage, even if I smashed her down. And I wouldn't do that. So I figured, okay, so Citizen M is all over the world, and what I can do is just hop on their website when we return to the United States, and I will purchase Danielle of my very own, and we will be reunited. Well, Citizen M does sell these, yes, but they only sell them to guests in person. So they don't sell them on their website, and then I think they should. But that's not my business. So I looked at the locations of Citizen M hotels, and there's not one in Phoenix, Arizona, where I live. So that was out. Otherwise, I would have driven to it and found Danielle and reunited there. But we don't have one. And so I looked at their map, and I noticed they have two in the Seattle area. So that doubled my chances of finding one. This is when I had to search on my Facebook for who lives in Seattle. And lo and behold, my friend Amy Laybourne, who is one of my favorite musicians ever, as well as my Facebook friend, lives in the Seattle area. So I messaged her on the Facebooks and I said, hey, Amy, this is so weird. However, and I explained about Dapper Dan, now Danielle, and how I needed to reunite with her, but she was yet out of my grasp. And so I said, could you please go to the Citizen M nearest you and purchase Danielle and send it my way. And because she's awesome, she said yes, she would do that. So we found which of the two that she was going to first, and I called that hotel and I said, hey, I have a friend who's going to come in. She's not going to be a guest, but can you sell her a pillow? And the person said yes. And I said, do you have this particular one in the checked blue and white top? And they said yes. However, we are out of the insert pillows, these little 14-inch pillows, said the person at Citizen M. So we can't sell you the pillow. And I said, oh, no, that's okay. Just sell me the outside of it. That's fine. And the person said, oh, okay, that's cool. And we agreed. And everybody was on the same page. And Amy showed up to Citizen M, not knowing about the phone call that I made. And she said, I'm here to pick up this pillow. A friend of mine is buying it, blah, blah, blah. And the person at the Citizen M said, I'm so sorry. We don't have inserts for those. We can't sell them. And so Amy went away empty-handed, and I was denied yet again a reunion with Danielle, whom I haven't seen since I was 5-ish years old, and who was my best little buddy. And so I found on through a couple searches through LinkedIn, I found out who was the manager of the Citizen M, that particular Citizen M in Seattle. And her name is Yuriana Spierenburg. I think it's Yuriana. It's spelled with a J, so it might be Juriana. I don't know. I'm sorry, Yuriana or Juriana, if that I'm obviously mispronouncing it in one of those aspects. But anyway, she's the manager of the Citizen M, and so I wrote to her and I said, basically, this will be the craziest email ever. And then I told her the whole story of Dapper Dan and transitioned to Danielle, and so Juriana said, I love that story. I'm sending you Danielle. Yay! And so a day later, she sent me the tracking information from Federal Express, and I said, well, how much do I owe you? And of course I'll pay for the shipping as well. And she said, no, this is a gift from Citizen M This reunion is important, and Citizen M insists on gifting you. Yay! So stay at your Citizen M because they are awesome people. And they have fun pillows. Danielle is not the only one. There's a choice of them. They're all fun and you can cuddle with them. Danielle arrived at my house. Yay! Finally, at last, I had a 14-inch pillow ready to go. And we hugged and we reunited. And yay! And so I thought, well, how fun would it be to write a song about the epic adventure of Dapper Dan and Tina Z. And so I wrote my lyrics. I always write lyrics first, almost exclusively, before I get to the music part of a song. And so I wrote the lyrics, and in that time I told Amy about Yuriana, who helps and was so kind. And so thank you for trying, but Danielle and I are reunited at last. And here's a poem I wrote about it. Here are some lyrics I wrote about it. And Amy said, oh, would you mind if I took a whack at that with a melody, with some music and a melody? And I'm like, of course. I love Amy's music. She's fantastic. And so she took my lyrics and she wrote this song and sang my words to her melody. And it just was so gorgeous. And I wanted her to sing on this one, but she said, no, this is your story. You must sing on it. And so there is, in the song, DD and TZ, there's a bass guitar, there's Amy's beautiful piano, there's my voice, and my ukulele is buried in there somewhere. And so we wrote the song together. Amy and I wrote the song together, and my music partner Brady stepped in and recorded for us and did bass guitar and harmonies. I think there's harmonies in there. And then, as if that weren't enough, I decided this tale is so epic that it needed a comic strip. And so there's a website called Fiverr, F-I-V-R or E-R, I don't know. Anyway, artists are on there looking for side hustles, for one-off jobs. And so I found a cartoonist on there. And I'm not sure if the cartoonist is male or female. However, I do know that they didn't speak English. We only communicated through typing to each other through the website. I hired the person to illustrate the story of Dapper Dan, now Danielle, and Tina Z. And this person knocked it out of the park with all these fun illustrations that you're about to see. But the language barrier was fun. Trying to explain a transitioned stuffed doll. Anyway, it worked out. The cartoonist did a marvelous job. Amy did such a fabulous job, and in her effort to help with the reunion. Thank you very much for that. It's so kind. This is my Danielle, and we're together again at last. Yay! So here's the song, DD and TZ. Bye.
But dark days fell. turn